but I could tell my husband never really liked him. When I asked him about it, he got flustered and told me that he didn't know it was noticeable and apologized. He told me he just didn't think he was good enough for her, which was baffling. Well, my sister's boyfriend proposed to her last night. My husband and I were eating pizza in their living room while they were out on her balcony drinking beers when he suddenly went down on his knees and took out a ring. She was very surprised but happy all the same and said yes. She went inside to tell us the news and we celebrated for a couple of hours. When we went back home, my husband was a little tipsy. He told me he wasn't tired, so he drank one more beer and watched TV. I let him be for about an hour before I went to check up on him. He was just sitting there crying. I asked what was going on, and that's when he told the worst news ever. He was in love with my sister. He has been for years. He knew how wrong it was, told me that he loved me very much and promised to be a good husband and father to our daughter. I wasn't convinced, though, because he's been emotionally cheating on me for years. I was shocked and confused. I didn't even know if I should tell my sister or what this meant for my relationship. Was it over? The next day, he apologized to me and said that he just felt despair, like he had something very beloved and important in his life that he lost and he was mourning it. I couldn't believe he was speaking this way about my sister. Now it all made sense why he didn't like her boyfriend. I wish I could have seen the signs sooner, because he promised me a life that seems like fiction now. Nothing he says would make up for his betrayal, but he sure did try. He told me he loved me very much and he wanted for this to work for us and the baby. I asked him if he loved her more than me and he said it's just a different type of love, whatever that means. I asked him if he has stayed with me all these years to be near her. He said I was being unfair to him because he did love me. The fact he couldn't answer told me everything I needed to know. I asked him if he was okay with never seeing her again. He teared up but then said he would do anything to save this marriage. I asked him if he fantasized about her while sleeping with me. He refused to answer at first and then said, "Why are you doing this to yourself?" I asked him if he would lose interest in me if she's out of our lives and it's just us. He looked like he was thinking about this for a while and then he said that he chose me and my baby. He wants to start therapy and counseling because he thinks this marriage is salvageable. I don't think it is. We had dinner with my sister and her fiancé. After all this happened and my husband was unusually quiet. He didn't even want to talk to my sister and he barely looked at her. My sister was too happy to be nice, so she didn't question him about it, and I know that hurt him, especially since all she did was talk about her fiancé and how happy she was about going on a romantic getaway with him. However, when we were leaving, my husband hugged her far longer than usual, like he didn't want to let go of her. I realized he had never held me like that before. Then, he held her hand and congratulated her again. He was tearing up all the while, and he hugged sister's fiancé to congratulate him. At home, he told me he loved me and he will do anything to make this work, but I shouldn't make any decisions while hurt. I assume he means considering divorce, and I won't lie, my mind has drifted off there sometimes.